One of my favorite Christmas comedy movies. It came out in 1994. Now, it didn't do well at the box office. I mean, it had negative reviews. A lot of people probably don't like this movie, but I do. It's one of my favorite comedies of the 90s. Comedies of the 90s. Hope I got that right. Mixed Nuts. Starring Steve Martin, Rita Wilson, Juliette Lewis, Anthony LaPaglia. I can't pronounce his last name right. Sorry. And, Madeline Khaun. Anyway, it's about Steve Martin playing Philip. I'm sorry. Catherine, played by Rita Wilson, and Mrs. Blanche Muchnick, played by Madeline Khaun. They run this suicide hotline called Lifesavers. And their landlord, the late Gary Shanklin, he died in 2016. Sad. He was a cool comedian, in my opinion. Very cool. Anyway, he's the landlord, and he's about to evict, the apartment building that, the apartment that the lives that, Philip has for his life savings come. Sorry, you know how I am. I meant to say the apartment that Philip lives in. He also uses it for his business of lifesavers. But anyway, he's about to get evicted by the landlord Stan. But Philip doesn't want to tell Catherine and Mrs. Mushnick, the not ruin the holidays. But there's also another story involving Catherine's friend Gracie, played by Juliette Lewis, and her boyfriend, Felix, played by Anthony LaPaglia. I'll say LaPaglia. She's pregnant, and they're very they don't have a lot of money, and Felix wants to be a wall artist, but he doesn't have a lot of money. A wall artist that draws on the walls. But that's basically the movie. There's a lot of funny stuff in this movie, like Mrs. Mushnick getting stuck in that elevator, and where Philip tries to get her out, that's where Gracie comes to the apartment, pushes that button, and the elevator goes up, 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 and they almost looked like they were gonna die. It was funny. What else? There's a lot of funny moments in the movie. There's one guy who's a transvestite. He's played by I forget his name. I think I forgot to wrote his name down on here. I'm sorry. But anyway, the transvestite, I think his name is Chris, his character. He has medical problems. He wants to, the rules of their company, they don't want callers to know where they at. But I think Philip accidentally or tells him the address to Lifesavers, the apartment that they live in. Sorry. I always get dry throat, and I'm always thirsty, And there's a lot of other funny moments in this movie, especially the guy with the dog that hates Mrs. Mushnick, but later on they get it on. And of course, that side story with the seaside strangler. You find out who the strangler is in the movie. I'm gonna let you guys figure that out. They always talk about they're worried about the seaside strangler coming to get them. What else happens? Oh, I like I like all the jokes in this movie. I know it's not really a good movie. It's one of those comedies that sort of like Oscar or Clue. The comedy is about these group of guys or people in this one place, and they make all these jokes. That's how I do like my comedies like that. That's just me, Some people have different opinions, but oh yeah, Adam Sandler is in this movie. It's not his first movie, but he was real young. He plays Louis with that weird voice. The one, this voice, how he almost sounds like doing a Billy Madison impersonation, but not really Billy Madison's voice. he's always had that ukulele. It's funny if you see him in this movie. What else? I'm trying to think of someone who had all funny stuff that happens. Oh yeah, Rob Reiner, Dr. Kinski. One scene, Catherine and Felix, they get into a fight, and Catherine hits. No, not Catherine. I'm sorry, Gracie. Gracie and Felix get into a fight, and Gracie hits Felix with that can of fruitcake, and he starts to bleed on his head gets busted, and Philip takes him to the veterinarian, Dr. Kinski, played by Rob Reiner. Oh man, yeah, Kinski. Dr. Kinski was hoping he would spend spend Christmas with his girlfriend, but she got mad. It's always the animals first, and she drives off. But no, at first, I remember when Philip brings Felix in, Dr. Kinski thought it was a cat, and when he sees Felix, he says, "A person named Felix." And it's just another funny scene in that where Philip, he still is thinking about getting evicted, but he was talking to this dog that's supposed to get neutered tomorrow. And I remember Philip telling him, "Forget about women, Pacho." And Dr. Kinski told him, "Don't worry, tomorrow he will." And Philip says, "Ouch, that's gotta hurt." And that's where Felix accidentally swallows the tranquilizers to calm the dogs down, or when they get neutered, or put them to sleep, or whatever. Later on, when Felix goes to the hospital, he escapes and has a gun. He's just crazy or whatever. Almost at the end of the movie where they were having dinner. And also, there's another side plot where Philip was dating this girl named Susan, and Susan was cheating on him with a psychologist. Anyway, and Catherine, played by Rita Wilson, she has a biggest crush on Philip, but she's so glad that when Susan dumps him, and not Susan, but Catherine, I forget if she tells Felix that she's been had a thing for him, that she had a thing for him for years, but it's just later on in that movie where Felix gets a gun and he accidentally shoots Chris, the transvestite, in the leg, and he bonds with Louis, the guy with the ukulele. And later on, where there's a funny moment where Gracie was shooting the gun, and while Stanley, the landlord, comes back, he gets shot and killed by accident. And then when he was ringing the doorbell, you could hear it ring when he was already dead. Because I forget, he was there. Catherine called him to fix the elevator, but that was already fixed by the time he got there. And it's very hard to explain with these kind of movies, but I do like mixed nuts. Haley Joel Osment has a small part of the movie as a little kid at the end of the movie. Parker Posey and Jon Stewart played rollerblades. Parker Posey and Jon Stewart played rollerbladers. Yes, I can't say it. I'm sorry. I remember when Jon Stewart and Parker Posey, who played those, skate rollers. I just can't say it right now. I don't know why. Rollerbladers. No. And during the beginning of the movie, they were riding along with this Christmas tree, and I think either Felix or Philip accidentally knocks them over and ruins their tree, and they come back for revenge at the end of the movie, where they were carrying Stanley, disguising him as a Christmas tree. They were going to dump the dead body, but he soon gets discovered. That's all I'm going to say about the movie. It was very hard to talk about this movie. I know it's not a good movie, but I liked the movie. I thought it was funny. I love those 90s comedies that they had with adults, middle-aged adults. And they still do those movies, but I'm not into them anymore. Like back in the days when they had the 90s and VHS tapes, and when I had HBO. I didn't see Mixed Nuts till I want to say 2014. 2013, something like that. But I remember seeing Father of the Bride with Steve Martin. That's the sequel I like better. I used to love those kind of 90s movies. You know, middle-aged adults acting silly or funny. I don't watch a lot of them anymore. Back in the day, they was just so hilarious. Anyway, I'm about to end this review. Please check out Mixed Nuts, a 1994 Christmas comedy. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it is still funny in my opinion. I liked all the characters in the movie. They just made me laugh so. And I'm about to end this video, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to. Subscribe to my channel if you want to. That's up to you. Anyway, that's it. I'm out.